Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I wanted to knock out one or two reviews tonight because I am going upstate tomorrow for a week to see my daughter. And as just some of you know, 8-year-olds are very crazy running around all the time. So, I'm probably not going to be able to get more than like a review up a night while I'm up there. So, I wanted to knock out two tonight. It's already 3 in the morning, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the next one. Maybe I'll just watch it and then do the review when I wake up in the morning before I leave. But this is a movie I wanted to talk about since I started this channel because I never hear this movie talked about, like hardly ever. And it's a shame because this is a highly entertaining fucked up movie, man. Like, this is very unique to me. Like, it is very Saw-like, like just with like the whole having to make a choice and everything like that, but it's handled in a very different way. So we're talking 2012's Would You Rather, directed by David Guy Levy, and we have like an ensemble cast here. Like, there are a lot of familiar faces. We have Brittany Snow, who is absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful woman, man. And she was in a few things. She was in the Prom Night remake, 2008, I think it was, which sucked. So I never really remember her performance from that. She was in the comedy John Tucker Must Die in the mid-2000s that I remember watching back then. It was funny, I guess. I don't really remember her performance in that either. So when I saw this movie when it came out in 2012, that was like the first time I really like remembered a performance from her. And she does a great job in this movie. Like, as the main character, she does a very good job. We have we have D'Angelo, the character from The Wire, and I don't remember a lot of these characters, actors' names off the bat. I'm pretty good with names and stuff, and I know my shit when it comes to most horror movies and stuff, and other work that actors have done and everything like that, but I've seen probably thousands of horror movies in my life, like I've said on the channel before. And it is a lot to remember every single other piece of work and that an actor's done and the actor's name in every movie that I watch. It's stuff like that. Way too much to ask. Completely way too much. So, apologies for any past reviews or anything going on in the future when I just refer to a character's name as like a different character from another show or something like that, because it's just too much to remember every single character's name or actor's name in every movie. So but The Wire, man, is one of my favorite shows of all time. So we have D'Angelo from The Wire in here. We have James Hurd, who will always be Mr. McAllister from Home Alone for me, but he's also in so many other movies. He's such a great actor. And he is in the movie After Hours, which, if you haven't heard or seen After Hours, it is a very lesser known Martin Scorsese movie from the 80s. It has Griffin Dunn and which Arquette is it? I think it's Patricia Arquette. I could be wrong. It's one of the Arquette sisters, but that is such a funny fucking movie, man. It is like a dark comedy. Cheech and Chong is in it too, like playing thieves and stuff. If you haven't seen After Hours, definitely check that movie out because it is such an under talked about and just totally underrated Scorsese movie. It's not like one of his big gangster movies or anything like that. No, it's just a like small budgeted like dark comedy, and it is hysterical. It's been like a family movie in my family like ever since I was a kid. Like, it's absolutely hysterical. I can't recommend that movie enough. I might even review it down the line, even if it's not a horror movie, like just to do it because I adore that movie. So After Hours, check it out. We have Sasha Grey, the former porn star in this movie, which, damn, that brings back some memories from from my youth, man. And then we have Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, which I absolutely love that show. It's gone downhill significantly over the years, especially when it moved to Netflix. But what a funny show, man, and what a great character he plays as Ricky on that show. And his character in this is nothing like that. Like, he does a decent job, like, playing a serious character. Like, most of the actors and actresses in this movie do a good to excellent job. And we have Brittany Snow, like I said, is the leading one. She does a great job. And then we have the infamous, brilliant, genius Jeffrey Combs as like the co-star of this movie. And I'm going to be reviewing Castle Freak one night this week or weekend, or probably one day this weekend while I'm upstate. But I feel like I had more to talk about with Castle Freak. And I was just dying to see Jeffrey Combs in some way, shape, or form on the screen tonight. So that's another reason why I picked this movie. His performance in this movie, and this is a much older Jeffrey Combs, this is a long time since Reanimator and From Beyond and Castle Freak and everything else that he's been in, which he's phenomenal in everything. But this might be my favorite performance from him besides Reanimator. And like maybe From Beyond, like it might be tied with that. He does so fucking good in this movie. Just every line out of his, like I said in my Reanimator discussion and stuff, it was like almost an hour long, and half of that was just blowing Jeffrey Combs. Like, I love the man so much. He's one of my favorite actors. There's nothing he can do wrong, and his performance in this movie is just so good. I love how, as this movie keeps on going, he just gets more psychotic and more crazy and still retains this like classiness to him and this respect in a way and like honor, like sort of, because of what goes on in this movie. But every mannerism that he uses, like every facial expression, every line out of his mouth, everything that he does in this movie, like anything else, is phenomenal. Like, I can't say enough about Combs in this movie, or in general, but especially in this movie. He does such a fucking phenomenal job. And he makes this film, he takes this film from a decent, good movie to a great movie for me, just with him and his performance. But I'll give a little spoiler-free review for people who haven't seen this movie. And it's very in the vein of, like I said, in the vein of Saw, like where you have to make choices and stuff like that. It's similar, but it's definitely its own thing. So, spoiler-free stuff. There's Brittany Snow plays the main character, Iris, who is basically struggling, taking care of her younger brother after their parents died in an accident. And it's just her and her younger brother, and she's trying desperately to make ends meet to try to save his life, as he has leukemia and needs a bone marrow transplant. So she's looking for jobs everywhere. She's getting denied left and right, and she's pretty much completely desperate. And she ends up being invited by this wealthy foundation owner, played by Combs, to come to a dinner party and play a game. And the winner of this game will be completely financially compensated and taken care of, or in any other way that they need. Their lives will be taken care of. And it sounds too good to be true. And it is. But, so if anyone hasn't seen this movie and wants to check it out, would you rather click off right now and go check this movie out? It's free on Plex, which I never even heard of that streaming app or anything before tonight when I was trying to find this movie online. Or would you rather sit through the rest of this and have this movie spoiled the shit out of for you? So you got 15 seconds. I'm not waiting 15 seconds. Get the fuck out of here if you want to see the movie. If not, you've seen this movie and we can dive into it. So, like I said, everything about Iris and her brother and stuff, and she's desperate to save his life and do anything she can for money, basically. So she goes to meet with her brother's doctor, Dr. Barton, who's played by actor who plays D'Angelo from The Wire, who does a good job in this too. He doesn't have a lot of scenes or anything like that, but good job. Like, great seeing him. Like I said, one of my favorite shows ever, The Wire. And he introduces her to Mr. Lambrick, who's played by Jeffrey Combs. And he's the wealthy foundation owner and invites her to the dinner party and everything. And Dr. Barton basically validates everything that Lambrick is saying about the game and the winner and stuff, and that they'll be compensated for everything. And we find out Dr. Barton has played this game before and won. So he is the winner of one of these games in the past. So he validates to Iris everything that Lambrick's saying and basically tells her, like, this is for real. Like, it's not too good to be true. Like, this is absolutely for real. And he has, you can see, like, he has, like, a scar on his face. And I've always wondered, like, exactly what he went through in his game. Interesting. Like, I always wondered that. I said, I wonder exactly what happened. Like, if they ever made, like, a sequel to this movie, that could be a great little angle. They can pretty much revolve it around his character and his game and make it a prequel. Absolutely can go down that route. The score in this movie is great. I love the score in this movie. From the very, very beginning, with the opening theme and everything like that, and the score is very prominent in this movie. Like, there's not a lot of scenes that doesn't have some type of score going on in the background. And it really sets a good atmosphere. It sets good tension. Like, it's a great score. I really highly enjoy it. I love the mansion, man, that they go to play this game. What a fucking property, man. Like, absolutely gorgeous. When they walk in and just, like, the fucking wood banisters and everything, and just fucking awesome. Looks so good. Must be great to have that much money, man. So we get Lambrick's whole speech with his son, Julian, and stuff. That whole scene is just, like I said, Jeffrey Combs just being himself and being fucking fantastic. Everything out of his mouth in this movie is phenomenal, like I said, and this scene is no exception. Him just talking to his son and saying that they have to be objective observers in this game, and we can't have a repeat of last year, which implies that his son has some type of attitude or anger problems, and something happened in the game previously the year before, and we see that that's pretty much exactly how the son is as we go on in the movie. But having to give up your phone and car keys before going into dinner and playing this game, no fucking way would I ever do that. I would leave right then and there. I mean, it's not like in other films, like, where it's like people going into a creepy scenario or like a creepy location or anything like that. No, it's like a beautiful fucking mansion by this legit foundation and everything. And it's not like there's no like any apparent like insidious nature to it or anything like that. So I mean, it's not inconceivable that people would just give their phones and keys up and stuff like that. But I mean, the phones I can see, like, people, I don't need my phone. We're going to be in a fancy dinner and stuff and playing a game. But the car keys, which doesn't even make sense because Iris is driven there in a limousine that picked her up by the foundation. And assumedly, and the other guy, when they have their introductions and stuff, when Iris gets there, says that they flew him in from another state, and Lucas says the same thing. He was flew in from another state, so it's assumed that they all were taken to this location in limousines. So why did the car keys like even matter for any reason? That I don't get. That makes no sense. Like, why even mention the car keys? Like, their cars aren't there. It's not like they try to escape and they can get in their cars. The cars aren't there. I don't know. That's stupid. That makes no sense. Just the whole premise and concept of this movie, of everybody having a price to give up their morals and integrity and beliefs and everything about them, is such a impactful fucking premise, man. Like, it's so true. Like, for most 99.9% of people, you name a price and it's a decent price enough for that person to do whatever you're asking of them, they will take the money. And that's like the main concept and stuff and theme going through this movie. And it's implemented so well. It really is. It's very compelling to me, the way they explore that. So we have them going into dinner, and this is before the game even starts. And Iris mentioned she's a vegetarian and everything, and been one for most of her life and everything. And right off the bat, Jeffrey Combs, I'm just going to keep calling him Jeffrey Combs, just basically says to her and says, "Oh, you're a vegetarian and stuff. I'll give you $10,000 to eat that steak." And at first she's hesitant, "No, I can't do that. Like, I don't eat meat. Like, it's not trying to be rude or anything." And again, he just keeps pushing her, man. And she ends up eating the entire steak for $10,000. And sure, it's a very dear thing to people, who are vegetarians or anyone who has their beliefs and stuff like that. But it just shows, fucking put $10,000 on the table. I mean, I would wolf that steak down so fucking fast. You have no idea. And I love me fucking steak, man. I absolutely love a good steak, which I mentioned in my Sleepaway Camp 3 review about how that bitch is eating steak and making everybody else catch and eat fish while they're fucking camping and stuff. What a bitch, man, that movie. And she accepts it. And then we have John Hurt's character, who Combs notices isn't drinking. He's the only one not drinking wine at the table, and he deduces that he's a recovering alcoholic, and Hurt confirms that. And basically just says that, "I'll give you $10,000 right here if you drink that glass of wine, or I'll give you $50,000 if you drink this entire decanter of scotch, the finest scotch money can buy." What a fucked up thing to do, man. That's so fucked up. To put it, and he's been sober for like 16 years, like almost 20 years. And he goes on saying, like, "You have no idea how hard I worked for this and everything. I turned my entire life around." And Combs is just demeaning him, man, and saying, like, "I hate to have seen you 16 years ago and stuff. Like, if you're here basically for a handout from my family and foundation." And like just belittling him like crazy and stuff. And he ends up caving in and fucking taking the $50,000 to drink that whole thing of fucking scotch. Which again just shows there's a price for everything, which is such a great concept to explore here. And then we have Would You Rather begins. And he starts explaining that this is the beginning of the game, and that it's going to have 15 seconds on the clock to make your decision. And he explains, the whole game and stuff. Like, if people haven't heard about it, it's a kid's game and stuff. And you have option A, option B, and you have to pick which one. And I love how he explains, and like a little later how he says, like, it's great. It's a great way of seeing into somebody's character when they're forced to make difficult decisions under duress. So true, and such an awesome concept to explore as well. Really, really good. And when he's giving the example and stuff, he's saying, like, to Travis, he's like a war veteran, and he's saying, like, for example, he's like, "Travis, would you rather kiss Iris or whoever?" One of the guys. And then he said, "I guess I would kiss Iris." And he's like, "I see. Well, that's an example of the game." And then we have an old lady there, Linda, in a wheelchair. She's paralyzed from the waist down. And she's just like, "You're going to make us kiss each other?" And he's like, no. He's like, "That was just off the top of my head and stuff." Everything that, like I said, that comes out of Combs' mouth. Every fucking mannerism that he has. Just the way he eats fucking cashews or whatever it is that he's eating and stuff. The way, like, and the way that he claps. The way, like, after he talks, like, that'll do that. Or, like, just everything he does is just fucking brilliant. It really is. Like, I'm always in awe watching Jeffrey Combs on screen. And he gives them right there and then, the opportunity to leave. He says, before we start this game right now, he's like, "This is your opportunity. If anybody wants to leave, this is your chance." And fucking James Hurd's character, he gets up and then like sits right back down. Like he's fucking like already drunk at this point from drinking this whole fucking decanter of scotch. And so nobody leaves, basically. They all stay for this game, which again, they have no idea the stakes that are involved at all. And it made me think of House of a Thousand Corpses for some reason, of like I said in that my video for that, like would the Fireflies have let them leave if Mary didn't, call Baby a whore and push her to the ground? And then, I always side on the side of there's no fucking way they would have let them go. But like, for some reason that reminds me of that. This situation, absolutely, I think he would have let them go. If someone decided they wanted to leave, because they don't know what's about to happen. They don't know the nature of this game. So there's nothing that they can like say or expose or anything like that about them, this foundation and stuff and what they're doing every year, if they left right then and there. So I think he absolutely would have let them leave. Like no harm, no foul. Like I really don't think they would have stopped them from leaving for any reason. And then we have Bevins the butler. That actor's been in a few things. I've seen him in a decent amount of things. And he's a ex-MI5 interrogator. And then John Hurd, when he starts, after Combs is explaining more in detail the nature of the game, and they wheel out the fucking car battery with the head straps and stuff like that. He's like, no, fuck this. He's like, you're a sick fuck. You just want to hurt us. And he gets up to leave and he just gets shot right in the fucking head, dude. And everybody freaks out. And like, now they know exactly what they're into. And there's no leaving now. Like, you had your one opportunity to leave and it's over. Fucking, you're now here, or you're going to get killed if you try leaving, which is terrifying. Like, absolutely. So we have Would You Rather begins, and we have our first round here with the electrocution. And they go around and they have 2 buttons to press, one to electrocute themselves and one to electrocute like the person next to them. And we have Cal, who chooses off the bat to electrocute himself instead of Sasha Grey's character, Amy, I think her name is, whatever, and she's Sasha Grey. Again, then it goes to Sasha Grey, and she immediately electrocutes this poor old woman, man. Like, immediately. Like, he doesn't even start the timer. She gets the thing in her hand, she goes, all right, would you rather do, and fucking this poor old woman, man, that's paralyzed in a wheelchair, is fucking just electrocuted, fucking. She's savage in this movie, man. Sasha Grey's cat, Amy, she is savage in this fucking movie. Like, she knows right off the bat, like, this is a game that there's no helping each other. It's a fucking competition, and you gotta look out for you and yourself, and you want to win this game. Like, that's it. There's nothing else to it. Like, she is fucking savage. And then the rest go around doing their thing and picking who they pick and everything. And Lucas, Iris, Cal, and Travis are basically like the only like real moral people in this movie. I mean, Ricky too, the character. You know who I mean. When I say Ricky, it's fucking the guy who the actor plays Ricky. And him too a little bit, and the old lady. I guess everybody. Everybody except for fucking Amy, man, for Sasha Grey. But like, we have a few of them like choosing to electrocute themselves and stuff to not hurt the other ones and stuff. Then we cut to Dr. Barden feeling guilty about sending Iris over there and stuff, because he's been through this game and stuff, and even though he won, he knows what happens. So we see him grab a gun and head over to the mansion. Then we begin round 2 of Would You Rather. I feel like I'm on ESPN being a fucking announcer. I'm on a game show here. Let's make it interesting. Fucking round 2 with fucking and the son Julian, man, what a dick. Like, right before this round starts, and Travis, the war veteran and stuff, picks a fight with Julian, and he just he doesn't let that go, man. Like, oh, what happens to this poor guy Travis in this next round is terrible. And the choice is here. Would you rather stab the person next to you with an ice pick in the thigh, or what the hell does he call it? A shambok or something. It's like an African whipping stick, and hit Travis 3 times in the back with this African whipping stick. And literally every fucking choice for everybody is to ice pick the person next to them or whip Travis 3 times. So they are singling out Travis because of his argument and shit that he started with the son, with Juliet. And he's sitting there smirking and shit like that as he's getting whipped and stuff. Fucked up, man. Like, fucking crazy. And again, I said, like, the way that Combs just gets more psychotic as the game goes on and stuff. And he has some fucking dark, funny-ass lines, too, in this movie. And Travis is a fucking trooper, man. Like, he takes it, those whippings, like, in threes, like, 3-4 times in a row. Because nobody wants to stick the ice pick in anyone's thigh because there's the main artery there, and they don't want to fucking kill somebody. But yet they're choosing to have this guy whipped in the back, and his back is fucked, man. Like, by the end of it and stuff, like, after, like, because, like, they have to whip him, like, on their choice and stuff like that, and then, like, when it gets to Travis, and, like, Combs even says to him, he's like, I'm sure you're relieved it's your turn now. And he says, would you rather stab, whoever it is with the ice pick, or take 3 whippings from Bevins, the butler? This MI5 guy who's, like, just relentless, and he's a trooper, man. He's like, I'm not stabbing anybody. He's like, just bring it on. And he's so fucked up after this. He's on the fucking floor. Like, he's like, can't even go on. And we get to Ricky, and he's trying to be logical about it and everything. He's saying, like, Travis can't go on anymore. Like, he can't take another beating like this. And Linda, the old woman who he is the other choice to stab with the ice pick, she's paralyzed from the waist down, so she won't feel it, which is good thinking, logical and everything. So he chooses her and stabs her in the leg and ended up hitting that artery, and she ends up bleeding out and fucking dying, dude. Like, fucking grim, man. And then we get this line from Combs that, it cracks me up. I totally forgot about this too. Like, I was dying laughing. But he's like Linda's choice, the old woman's choice, whatever, was to ice pick Sasha Grey's character or to whip Travis again and stuff, and she stabs Sasha Grey, and Sasha Grey gets pissed and, like, punches her and stuff, and then he's like, well done, Linda. He's like, good choice. He's like, well, you didn't really have a choice. I mean, you couldn't have whipped Travis. You can't even walk. Dude, that's so fucking funny. That's so fucking terrible, but that's hysterical, man. The way he delivers that line, fucking hysterical. And then Amy, fucking Sasha Grey's character, just goes over has to choose between stabbing Iris and, whatever, Travis again. And she goes over to Iris, man, and she asks straight up, she's like, can I stab her anywhere? Like, Jesus, dude, like, she is a savage in this movie. And Combs is like, that's interesting. We've never heard that before. He's like, from the shoulders down. And immediately she stabs Iris in the fucking side, dude. And Jesus, man, she really wants to win this game. And we get our second death with poor Linda, the old woman who bleeds out and dies. And that's sad, man. That really sucks. And then Travis is eliminated because he's on the ground, dude. Like, he can't fucking participate anymore. So they take him out of the room, and he's dead fucking eventually. And then they try to escape, and they start fucking all running around, and, like, it ain't just Combs, the son, and the butler. Like, the butler has staff there and stuff like that, and they're all packing with guns and stuff. So, like, they bum rush all these guys and stuff, and Iris gets out the door, to the dining room and stuff, and hides, and Cal runs up on Jeffrey Combs and gets shot right in the chest, killed. So Cal's eliminated. There's some great shots when Bevins, the butler, is, like, walking around looking for Iris when she's, like, hiding and stuff, of like the moonlight and stuff coming through the windows of the mansion and, like, lighting up the dark, like, hallway he's in and stuff. Like, really cool shots. I really like that. And then while Iris is hiding and stuff, like, the son, Julian, comes and starts assaulting her, basically. And Dr. Barton shows up to save her and is immediately Dick Halloran and fucking shot and killed. Like, there was no point to that whole thing of him coming to save her or anything like that. Like, to immediately be Dick Halloran. What a shame. But now they take Iris back up to the dining room and stuff, and all the players are still there that are left. I think it's 4 of them, right? There's Amy, Ricky, Lucas, and Iris are the only ones left. So there's 4 left. For round 3, the water barrel. And they bring out this water barrel, and you have a choice of either being held under the water in the water barrel for 2 minutes, or picking an envelope in front of you that you have no idea what's inside. And he even relates it to, Combs says, he's like, when you took this, made this decision to come here tonight and stuff, you had a choice of the known and the unknown. And that's what factors into this round here, which is another cool little thing that is explored and stuff. And, they have the sure thing with the water, 2 minutes, that's fucking hard, man. I mean, even people that are pretty good with holding their breath and stuff, 2 minutes underwater, like holding your breath, it's not easy at all. Or the unknown with the envelope. And we have Ricky picks the envelope after giving he's like a professional gambler and stuff like that, so he like deduces everything and tries figuring out, like, Combs knew his past about gambling and everything, so like he knew that he wouldn't pick the sure thing because it would be too easy, so he would pick the envelope. And like this whole little like gambling logic that he uses, and he ends up picking the envelope, and he has to hold a fucking huge ass firecracker in his hand and light it. And like at first he's like, all I gotta do is light a firecracker. He's like, that's it. And he doesn't say that he's gotta wrap his fucking hand around it and that it's this huge fucking firecracker, man, and that he has it duct taped into his hand so he can't like freak out at the last moment and open it. And Combs even jokes and says, how do you know it's not a dud? Like, if it's a dud, like, that counts, you don't have to do it again. And he fucking, when Bevins tapes his hand like with the firecracker in it, it sounds like a tiger roaring. Like, I don't know what that's about. Like, it really does. Like, when, like, he's stripping the tape and stuff, instead of just, like, the regular sound of, like, taking duct tape apart, like, no, it's like, it sounds like they recorded a fucking tiger. Like, I don't know what that's about. That makes no sense. I was like, I thought, like, a fucking tiger, like some random YouTube video just like started in the background on my fucking computer, and like it was a tiger or something. I was like, what the fuck is this? I never noticed that before. And then I had another funny thing like that actually happen, because I was going to watch Blue Velvet it's on Pluto right now, Pluto TV. And like I said on this channel, I am a huge David Lynch fan. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. And I'll definitely be reviewing all of his stuff, even though he's not a horror director. He has a lot of horror elements in all his stuff, and I cannot say enough about Lynch. He's in a category all of his own. He's absolute brilliance, that man. And so I was going to watch Blue Velvet, and I put it on pause on Pluto, and then I was watching this on my browser on the fucking Plex, on this streaming app and stuff, streaming service. And during the scene and stuff, Blue Velvet started playing the song. And I'm like, oh wait, they have Blue Velvet playing in here? That's so weird. I was just going to watch that actually earlier. And then I'm like, wait a minute, they don't play this song in this movie. What the fuck's happening? And I scrolled through my apps and shit, and I went to Pluto, and the movie just randomly started. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense. I was like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, fucking no Blue Velvet song in this movie. Like, why is this happening right now? Like, it was like fucking tripping me out for a second. But yeah, the video that movie just started playing on its own. It's fucking weird. And so we have round 3, and Lucas gets his, picks his envelope. And man, dude, this scene, it's just a picture of an eye. And Combs says to him, you have to slit your eye open. Dude. I couldn't. Just like he says, man, Luca, he's fucking freaking out. He's like, I can't do this. He's like, please, I can't do this. Like, I can't do it. Fucking like, and I said, I just said in a review, fucking, yeah, and I spit on your grave and stuff with the birds pecking the eyes out and stuff like. No, not that. In the Evil Dead remake, when he's pulling the fucking syringe out of his eye, and how that scene fucking makes me a little bit. Even though like I love Fulci and Argento and stuff, Fulci especially uses so many eye fucking ripping out scenes and fucking with people's eyes. Never bothers me. Most of them don't. This scene, dude, and you don't see anything, but just the whole situation and him pleading, like, I can't do this, like, please, like, it's like he's thinking to himself, like, anything else, I'll do anything else, like, please, like, I can't cut my eye, like, and he has now, like, the timer's at 30 seconds and stuff, so it's 30 seconds, he's wasting time and stuff, and then right near the end, he just picks the razor blade up and just slits his eye open, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is like one of the only eye scenes ever that like would freak me out. That like gets to me every time I see this. 1 second, I just gotta plug this in here because my battery's gonna die and I'm not re-recording 35 fucking minutes. Oh, dude, I couldn't imagine. And Iris picks the barrel. And she goes in the barrel for two minutes, being held underwater, and she survives. And she has some set of lungs on her. Then they even, like, Lucas says, like, what was her card? And Combs is like, I have no idea. He's like, check it if you want. And they check it, and he's like, oh, well, that's a close call. He's like, have all your teeth extracted. Shit, dude. And then he says, he's like, sorry, Bevins, maybe next year. That's fucking funny, dude. That's dark as shit, but that's hysterical. So then we have Sasha Grey's character chooses the envelope instead of the 2 minutes being held underwater, and it's a picture of a barrel with a 4 next to it. It's 4 minutes being held underwater. So she's fucked. And she says that's impossible, and Combs is like, it's not even the world record. Nowhere close to it. So like, it's doable. Dude, this bitch lasts like 30 seconds. And she fucking, and Bev is fucking like, she doesn't even get a chance to hold her breath. Like, she's almost like talking, like finishing talking. And he just slams her head into the fucking water, dude. And like, she's fucking dead within less than a minute. Like, and so Sasha Grey's gone, and all my good memories died with her. First time I saw this movie. And he says a fucked up thing to her before she gets like her head put in the water. He's saying like, how long did it take your husband to drown your little girl and stuff like that? How long did he hold her breath? Like something like that. Oh, it's so fucked up. That's a fucked up line, man. And then we have the final round. There's just 2 remaining, Iris and Lucas. The real true 2 people in this movie, like with the highest set of morals, that don't want to see anything happen to anybody else. I mean, sure, most of the others are the same way, but these 2 especially. You know, especially Iris and Lucas. And then another line from Combs. It was like, I think I can speak for all of us and stuff, that this has been very difficult for you guys, for all of us. For all of us. Are you serious? This has been difficult for him. And fucking his son and the butler and shit. That was fucking ridiculous, that is. And so they have to flip a coin to see who gets to go first, since it's only 2 of them. And I wonder if that coin, because they flip it and it was heads for Iris and tails for Lucas, and it lands on heads. And in the beginning of the movie, when after she's introduced to Jeffrey Combs' character, to Lambrick, in Dr. Barton's office, he says to Dr. Barton that she's perfect. So he favors her. So I always wondered if that coin was a double-headed coin, that it was heads on both sides, just to give her an edge. I wonder. I wouldn't put it past him. You know, with the fucking maniac that he is in this movie, would not put it past him if that coin was rigged in her favor. And she has the choice of ending the game right now, leave empty-handed, but her and Lucas get to leave, and alive. Or she can take this fucking gun and eliminate Lucas, shoot him dead, and be the winner. And he starts giving like this heartfelt story, and the 30-second time limit and stuff is going on, and like starts trying to explain why he came there, and she just fucking shoots him dead, man. Like shoots him right in the fucking heart. Jesus, man, and she's crying, and then like they're fucking like, Iris is the winner, and they're fucking all clapping, and she's just like breaking down and everything. But he makes good on his promise. Like he says, he's like, he gives her a fucking suitcase almost of money. He says there's enough in here to cover any debts left behind by your parents, and you can go back to school. We have a Romanian donor already set up for your brother. Like he's at the top of the list, and the procedures already will be like set up and will be done by the end of the week. So he, you know, despite all the sick shit, he even says, he's like, we keep our promises. I keep my word. And then, like, he even says to her to say thank you. He's like, I think a thank you's in order. And, like, she thanks him and stuff. But what the fucking balls on him, man, to say thank you? Fuck you. But he does keep his promise. And then, Jesus, dude, talk about grim endings. This has one of the most grim endings in a movie. When I first saw this movie, for like years before that, like I don't remember, like when I first saw this movie, I couldn't remember a more grim ending in like several years leading up to this movie, me seeing this. She gets home after winning this game and going through all of that and has everything set up to save her brother's life and everything. She comes home, she showers, and then she goes into the brother's room, and the brother fucking killed himself. Brother fucking swallowed pills and overdosed, killed himself. Dude. Jesus Christ. Are you serious, man? That is some grim shit. She did all of that for nothing. I mean, silver lining, she still got a shit ton of money, but I mean, but still, obviously, I mean, dude, her brother fucking is dead. Everything that she went through and endured in this sick game for nothing. That's fucked up. That is so sick. That is so grim. That is so dark. That is so awesome. And so is this movie. This is such a great movie. And definitely, like I said, Jeffrey Combs' performance raises this movie from what would just be a good movie to a great movie for me. And I never hear it talked about. So let me know if anyone's seen this movie and what they thought about it and stuff. And if you haven't, and for some reason, as I always say, if you watch this whole video and chose that for your choice for Would You Rather, let me know how it sounds to you and if you plan on checking it out. But I'm going to try to get one more out tonight before I leave in the morning. But if not, I'll have something up tomorrow night. All right, guys, I will see you guys soon. Thanks.